Uber and Lyft is now using AI to pay you less when it comes to driving. We are really living in a real life Black Mirror episode. As you can see right here, this is the main synopsis of the article. As gig workers' pay gets slashed by algorithms, experts warn that AI-driven wage systems mean no one's paycheck is safe. This is not, ironically, just for Uber and Lyft, but a lot of gig work jobs and everything, especially being independent contractors. And to start off, right, we're going to kind of skip around a little bit in this article because there is like a lot going on here. But basically, this one driver's talking about how they're making less. I've done a bajillion videos about this. This one driver said that here in LA, he used to make about $60 to $85 to drive from West Hollywood to downtown LA. If the stars align, quote unquote, he says he might be able to make $25 and $35 for the same exact trip. It's gotten harder to make more money. And that is true, right? A lot of rideshare drivers have experienced this, like shrinking incomes as the companies continue to increase their cut from each ride. I've said in so many videos, drivers are getting paid less and a bigger cut is being taken out of their pay. And then on top of all this, it's more expensive to drive. Maintenance on your car is more expensive than it used to be. Gas is more expensive than it used to be, right? And this is what's really, really tricky, that as I've talked about in so many videos, that there's a lot of legislation across the country which platforms have shaped into their favor by lobbying to keep drivers classified as independent contractors. I think there's some pros and some cons to this, right? And I've talked before in California or Massachusetts, Minneapolis, the list goes on. But the biggest thing is this helps companies avoid paying out benefits such as health insurance, paid time off, and workers' compensation. Uber and Lyft has wielded opaque algorithms that seem to incorporate data collected on workers to determine pay for each ride, offering increasingly meager amounts with little explanation. So not only when you order in Lyft and Uber, right? And we all know this, the dynamic pricing. Sometimes I order a Lyft and Uber and it's $20, sometimes it's $25, sometimes it's $18. So as a passenger or as a rider, you're kind of used to that. But now as a driver, that's becoming more and more common. And basically, Uber and Lyft is kind of testing out your threshold or your, I might even call it a BS level of like, okay, I'm not going to accept that ride. It's too little. And they're like, okay, so we can't charge them, but you might not want that ride because you think it's going to pay too little. But another driver might, and Uber and Lyft will say, okay, well, this one driver, we could probably pay them less because they seem to have a more increased tolerance for a lower paying ride. But for you, maybe they're like, okay, we're going to have to be kind of more picky. And that's super messed up, right? This practice may be to blame for the varying payouts for drivers completing the same ride in the same area at the same time. As a result, these companies appear to have created a system that surveils workers to utilize desperation and depress pay. Such algorithms appear to learn the lowest amounts that drivers will accept and turn them into the norm, which could explain the dive in pay experienced by Valdez, the driver who's being quoted from earlier, and other drivers. There's always going to be a driver that says, okay, $25 for an hour ride, that's more making at McDonald's, I'm going to accept that. There's other ones, though, that will say no to that. Like, there's no way I'm going to do $25 for an hour ride. This has been referred to a lot as algorithmic wage discrimination, which regularly modified formulas determine hourly pay based on an intricate web of data such as location, individual behavior, and market supply and demand. It doesn't just end with gig workers. So if, let's say, you're watching this video for fun, and you're like, hey, Mark, this is crazy, but I don't work for Lyft and Uber. I don't drive for Lyft and Uber. Here's the thing. Experts say algorithmic wage discrimination and AI-influenced pay more broadly is creeping in to a growing number of fields, such as healthcare, logistics, tech, and could upend work as we know it. And she states that they have the funds to develop specialized algorithmic systems. Entire teams of economists and engineers even use psychological tricks to manipulate drivers without ever having to classify them as employees with corresponding rights. Platform companies have been at the cutting edge of trying to experiment with ways to control its workers without it being obvious. And here's the thing, like I said before, algorithms can be employed to sniff out desperation for income based off the extremes people are willing to take on the job, such as high trip acceptance rates among Uber drivers. They're basically AI's calculating the lowest possible pay that workers across sectors will tolerate and suggest incentives like bonuses to control their behavior. And overall, to sum this up, now you have machine learning trained on identifying the desperation index of workers. So yeah, things are getting pretty crazy I think that's an understatement. Like, things are getting pretty wild, right? Not just with Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and ride sharing, not just even in the gig economy, if you look at like other sectors like delivery driving, but a lot of other fields. And this is something that I know has been becoming increasingly more popular, of testing people's thresholds in order to get the most out of them. For example, to use a very interesting analogy, kind of like a meta perspective, is YouTube. Now, in case you didn't know, sometimes, of course, you get an ad before the video starts, most of the time, almost all the time, but you can sometimes also get an ad during the video called a mid-roll ad on YouTube. And YouTube, for years now, have been testing people. I have some friends who say, yeah, if I'm watching a video and an ad appears in the middle of that video, I'll exit out. There are other people I know, I'm actually kind of included in this camp too. If I see a mid-roll ad or an ad in the middle of a video, I don't care. I just wait and then I skip it. It doesn't bother me because I'm like, hey, I'm also a YouTuber. I get it. It's helping them out. I'm technically watching the video for free. So I'm getting free entertainment at the cost of having to wait 30 seconds randomly during a video. That's fine to me, right? But different people have different ad tolerances. And YouTube tests this out. For some people, you're going to get more ads in the middle of a video than other people because YouTube's able to determine your ad tolerance. And in a very similar way, and this is going across so many different industries, Uber and Lyft is doing the exact same thing when it comes to their drivers. They're really trying to figure out, like, okay, when it comes to our drivers, how much or how little can we pay them depending on their tolerance? And this is what's really unfortunate, because I've talked before in other videos when it comes to passengers or ordering an Uber or Lyft, that I remember me and my friends would go out and we'd all be like, okay, do you want to get the Lyft? Do you want me to get it? Do you want to get the Uber? And sometimes we'd compare the apps themselves and the prices, and sometimes I would be paying way less money than them, or vice versa. So this whole dynamic wage pricing has something that's always been around since kind of the dawn of Uber and Lyft. I feel like they really kind of pioneered just to make it more common, because I mean, if you think about it, if you went to the store and buy a gallon of milk, and sometimes it was, and I'm making stuff up, like $2.50, and you're like, oh, okay. And then other times it was $6, and everywhere in between, you'd be like, wait, why is this fluctuating? Like, what's going on? But with Uber and Lyft, you almost expect it to always be a different price. Like, it's almost weird if, like, say you ordered an Uber, like, say 3 times in a row at the same time to the same destination, and it was the same price every time. You'd be like, whoa, this is kind of weird. Like, how is it the same price every time? 3 times in a row, it's been the same price, right? But you kind of use this now as a passenger or as a rider. But when it comes to drivers, things are getting crazier. And here's what's kind of tough is, some drivers, like they mentioned here, are desperate, where they're like, hey, I'm just trying to make as much money as I can. I know a lot of drivers too might not care as much about the algorithms. So for example, I've met some drivers who accept every ride. No matter what it is, when that ride pops up, they accept it, right? Their tolerance is unbelievably high, where they're going to accept anything. Whatever ride you throw at them, they're going to take it. And I think Uber and Lyft, using techniques like AI and algorithms and everything, have figured this out, where they're like, all right, we can probably send them anything. But then there's other drivers who might, one pops up, cancel. Another one pops up, cancel. Another one pops up, cancel. And then on the fourth one, they're like, okay, based off the mileage, the time, and the price, okay, this one's going to work. Uber and Lyft knows that if you have kind of a meh ride, or let's say Uber and Lyft wants to just get the most out of this ride they can, so they don't have to worry about spending too much on the driver, they give it to the person with a high tolerance, and they don't give it to a person with a low tolerance, with this person with a low tolerance and say, hey, I have a zero tolerance policy. You give me a bad ride, I'm not taking it. But this other person, they might take whatever, right? And I think this also depends on one. Some drivers might just say, hey, I'm just going to accept anything, or I'm going to be very, very strict. Other drivers I know, and this is the way I used to be when I used to drive for Uber and Lyft, I'd be very big on the algorithms and the analytics. So I would be testing out everything, using different hacks and tricks and techniques to get the most out of the incentives and bonuses. And so I was very, very picky as well. I was very, very picky because I'm like, hey, like, I actually will look into the data and be like, okay, actually, based off all these different metrics, this ride's not worth it. This ride is worth it. And some drivers I know do the same thing as me, or, they're like, hey, I'm going to be very picky because I'm big on the numbers and the analytics. I know other drivers who've said this to me, and I get it. They're like, hey, I don't want to be stressing out about trying to find the best optimal ride. If I see a ride and it looks kind of good and the pay seems kind of decent, I'm going to accept it. In addition, I know for a lot of drivers, depending on who you are, they might say, hey, in this example, they're like, well, if I'm going to get $25 in an hour, that is going to be more money I'm going to get than working at McDonald's or whatever. Although I will say here in LA, In-N-Out does pay pretty well. It's like 20 something an hour In-N-Out pays, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And you get benefits, I believe, when you're part-time. Of course, you're a W-2 employee typically, so you're going to be, taxes are taken out initially, so that's a little bit easier when it comes to the tax accounting. You also don't have to spend money to make money. I mean, that's another huge issue with Uber and Lyft. You constantly have to pay for gas. That's the biggest one. But maintenance on your car, your car is going to depreciate a lot faster, meaning that if you go to resell it, if you want to, you're going to get less money. Or let's say if you just want that car to hopefully exist as long as possible, it's probably gonna, stop working or not be drivable sooner because you're putting in all these miles with Uber and Lyft. You don't really have to worry about that when it comes to In-N-Out, right? So again, there's all these different factors coming into play, but this is something that I think is getting increasingly more popular, and it is tough because it is tough to kind of compare apples to apples right then in the moment. Because for me and my friends, if we're ordering an Uber from point A to point B, we can check it in 2 seconds. But for Uber, it's kind of tough as an Uber driver or as a Lyft driver to compare, like, hey, they just offered me this ride for $20 and then somehow find another driver in the same area at the same time to say, hey, wait a minute, they're giving you $20 for this ride. They're telling me they're going to pay me 30, or they're telling me they're going to pay me only 12. It's tough to compare apples to apples when it comes to the dynamic pricing and the algorithmic wage discrimination when it comes to Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, given the logistics of driving. I guess you could always hang out with your friends, both pull up Uber at the exact same time, your Uber driver app, and try to test it out. But that's so very, very tricky and difficult. I feel like it's a lot more complicated. And I think that's why, I hate to say it, I think Uber and Lyft is kind of getting away with this. That one, it is kind of tougher to kind of analyze in a very concrete, study-like, removing all the variables, try to make the controls as controlled as possible. Like, it's tough to do that. But then also, too, I think just the dynamic pricing has gotten more and more dynamic, if that's the right word, not to be redundant, where a lot of drivers now are saying, hey, like, things are so all over the place. And I think for a lot of people driving, with Uber and Lyft being one of the most popular secondary jobs for a lot of people, let's be honest, a lot of people say, hey, you know what? The economy's tough, and I'd rather, get a $10 ride and just do that $10 ride than get nothing. I'd rather do that, or I don't want to cancel on this ride and then just be waiting for 5 minutes. And I think it's kind of that tricky situation, like almost like a double-edged sword, where either A, you wait for a good ride and you might have to eat 5 or 10 minutes out of your time, which might be worth it, might not. Or B, you're like, shoot, I'm kind of desperate. I don't want to have to wait and waste 10 minutes to find a good ride. All these keep popping up and nothing's good. I'm just going to have to accept it because I need to make ends meet. With the economy being worse and worse, I just have to accept it. And that's why, as this article has been pointing out, and it has pointed out numerous times, Uber and Lyft does kind of take advantage of the driver's desperation, where they say, hey, $8 for this ride is not good at all, but I'm desperate and I need to take this ride. And I think this is causing, as you can imagine, a lot of issues among drivers, because I've talked before about, again, I call it the triple threat. Drivers are getting paid less, Uber and Lyft is taking out more of a cut, and of course, maintenance and wear and tear on your car, gas. Basically, being a driver is being more expensive. I might even say as a fourth one to add into that, as like a quad threat, if I'd say it like that, is too many drivers being on the road. This is also another big issue. I've talked before in a lot of videos that right now, especially this year, way more drivers on the road is causing a lot more issues for a lot of people trying to drive. And that also causes the thing of Uber and Lyft saying, hey, we know there's too many drivers on the road. This ride probably should be a $17 ride, but we're only going to pay, $11 to a driver. They should be getting paid $17, but Uber and Lyft says we're going to pay to $11. They then send it to a bunch of drivers, and because there's too many drivers on the road, a lot of drivers are saying, hey, I can't get any rides right now. $11 for this ride? I mean, it's not worth it, but I have to take it because I'm desperate. And again, the desperation, I think, is what's causing Uber and Lyft to have the power to do this. And I don't know if something's going to happen, because I know this is becoming a hotter topic, where maybe even legislation or legal stuff will get involved, saying, hey, no more dynamic pricing or algorithmic wage discrimination, using AI to kind of look at people's tolerance of how little they're willing to get paid. But until then, it seems like this is something it's something that's going to continue to happen. And we'll have to see if hopefully there's a way to kind of avoid this in the future.